Hey, what's going on YouTube? Infinite Mindset back with some videos for y'all, some topics that I've been wanting to talk about, and that's this upcoming fight between Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal. Um, it's gonna be airing tonight, so I'm gonna be uploading this real quick. It's my final fight prediction. Been following the build up of the fight closely. I've been, I want to say, a fan of both fighters for maybe a few years now. I didn't know who Jorge Masvidal was until he moved up to 170, and that 155 division at that time was just so stacked, and it still is. Um, Jorge Masvidal has been, at 170, competing against the best. Um, his last loss was to Damian Maya, and it was a close loss. Could have went either way, but you see what Damian Maya just did to Ben Askren, so he's definitely a game opponent. But Nate, beat up Anthony Pettis in a great fight. Anthony Pettis, I think that was at 172. And then he called out Jorge. And then Jorge said, I'm here. Give me the money, give me the belt. And now they got a BMF title. And they're going to be fighting over who's the next BMF. And funny thing is, Connor's looking out the corner of his eye and said, hey, he want that belt. So maybe we got a potential Connor versus Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal winner. And I actually was surprised watching the standoff. I was surprised because I didn't realize that Nate Diaz was y'all see what it is. Ohio State Buckeyes, okay? Y'all see what it is. But Nate Diaz was surprisingly much taller than Jorge Masvidal. I didn't suspect that. Um, he's a good boxer. He knows how to use his reach, but at the same time, his game plan is to get inside and make it a dirty boxing match. So if he's not going to be outside jabbing away, which he possibly could, and not worried about the takedown because of his ground game, then I think if Nate Diaz can pump his jab, move on the outside, which he never does, then it could be an interesting fight. But I think Jorge Masvidal, honestly, being at 170 longer, is more stronger. I also think he's a slicker, more tactical fighter. And I think that if Nate messes up and pity pats, Jorge is just gonna eat that up and then let go of some powerful punches that could maybe end the fight, rock him. And I think overall, I think Jorge's gonna win this by decision. I think he's going to land a more cleaner, powerful shots. Um, I think that this has a potential to be a war, and I think Nate has the gas. Wouldn't that be surprising if Nate gassed Jorge Masvidal? Um, anyway, I think Jorge Masvidal by decision. He may drop Nate a couple times, may let him up to be like, yeah, come up, bad motherfucker, come up. I can see showboating, and I really want this to be a war. I don't really care for showboating. But, this is what's going on in the UFC, so that's what's about to happen. And other popular fights coming up, we're going to get into those. Darren Till, Kelvin Gastelum. Who else is fighting on this undercard? Who else is fighting on this card? Some good fights. I just can't remember them right now because boxing is also on my mind, along with other things. And you got Sergey versus Canelo. And with boxing, you really don't have stat cards. Like that's the only fight I know about that card. But I know it's gonna be a good fight. And I'll give you my prediction on that in another video. But this is me just giving y'all some MMA dialogue. Signing out.